Hey kids, it's X-Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement, and you're getting all sorts of. Actually, this is sweet. You can see the reflection of everything going on behind me, because I have a couple of pieces of art I want to show off that came in the mail. Some prints that I ordered that I'm real proud of. What's up, Visioneers? I didn't give a lot of heads up for this. I've been running late today. I've been, watching my rags to riches, uh, been eating my eggs and bacon as I'm getting going. I had to go pick up Cuatro Cinco's mobile studio from the shop, getting a couple things fixed on that, getting ready to go down to California next month, December, for the birthday party of Hex. So yeah, grab that link if you guys want to hang out in the green room, hang out on screen. Uncle Will says, yeah, what's up, y'all? I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. Pete Townsend, love it. TGIF, guys. What are you guys happy that Friday finally showed up? I'm happy that Friday finally showed up. We're Hexray Chick and I are taking off out of town. Hexy Quinn, what's up, Hexray? Happy Friday. Definitely happy Friday. I posted in the Salt Lake Hexkin meetup group some information to see how many people want to try and do a live watch party for Maddie Allen's online conference in January. So yeah, hit us up in there, waiting for you and Hexius Man and some of the other people in Utah to see if we want to put together a get together, a meetup, and watch that live, and maybe even set up our own stream so we could be streaming from there, those of us that Maddie's invited to speak, and we can also hang out. It says, oh, Uncle Will left out a Miles. We'll forgive you. It's all right. That's all right. It's not a perfect science. So let's see. First things first. Oh, back to my homeboy Rags. Dude, it's the last day for you guys to claim your Texan tokens if you have state tax on July 4th, or if you have sacked for Pulse or Pulse X, then you will be getting 1 million Texan tokens airdropped to you on launch. So that's awesome. Yeah, Hexaquin, that is. We'll definitely check that. Francis Powell in the house. How's it going? Red Squirrel. I think Red Squirrel has oi oi pops that triggers every time I go live or announce a stream. We demand the whiteboard. Dude, Adam, how's it going? Uncle Max. It's Uncle Max, and I'm here to hang out with you just for a little bit. We're going to pack our bags. We're going to head south, somewhere where it's not snowing, and we might even get a chance to put on some swimming trunks and feel the sun on our skin. So that's awesome. So hey, going back, claim your Texan token today, and also no shave tail pulse chain. Let's get these flowing goat like looking attachments on our face. Go strong. And you don't even have to grow one out. If you can't grow a good beard, feel free to go to your local costume shop and just have one glued on. Just have a big beefy beard glued on. Take a picture, tag me in it, put it on Twitter. No shave till pulse chain. Let's go. Oh, dude, Orezo Evetichin. Jiminy Christmas. Sup, people? Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, I remember now. I figured out what your name was backwards. -0. I'm gonna call him -0 because that's way easier than pronouncing it backwards. Sunny Arizona for Francis Powell. I'm growing a K4K. So that means you're going up top, right? You're doing the faux hawk, the Jimmy Neutron. What's up, Hexray? Respect. What's up, Hexkins? Happy Friday. Thank you very much. OX Sparky, appreciate that. Let me double check, make sure that we got nothing but blue in the chat. Nothing but blue, nothing but wrenches. If you guys are in the DM chat, hit that StreamYard link. If you just want to come hang, I've got the StreamYard link at the top here by Red Squirrel. So feel free to join, hang out with me, talk about what's on your mind, what's going on, what's new. Yeah, Rags did a really good stream talking about Elon. A lot of people think Elon is a troll. A lot of people think Elon is controlled opposition. He's a puppet. But, maybe he's just a crazy billionaire. His Zero Gravity says it's cool if I do that. Keep the face fungus X-ray. Appreciate that. That's really nice. Jay Diggity in the house. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Like I said, I've got some eggs and toast over here. It's lunchtime and I haven't had my breakfast. So if you guys come on here and get to start talking, then that gives me a chance to eat that. And then, yep, here we go. Yeah, HexiQuinn did respond to that. I'm down for whatever location. Yeah, is this a party? Onto a party. Yeah, so this is a party of a party that we're having, and not just Salt Lake or Utah, but Vegas, the places in California, all the places that the Cuatro Cinco tour did with KSB, where they went across the country. You guys have a lot of people that got to meet and know each other. Texas has 5 really strong communities that I met in person. You guys should be definitely getting together, having a watch party, and just enjoying a whole bunch of mini meetups. I think he may not even be human. Yeah, I don't know. He seems to make human babies. That doesn't always mean that he is human, but he is definitely racking up the baby mom account. Jay Diggity, updates on your coin idea. Yeah, I've got an update. It's been pushed back. Not because of the market or anything like that, but we're in the phase right now where we're building the web app. So we need to build a web app or a simulator to kind of like throw a lot of this stuff together before we start coding. And we're going to take all of the ideas of the coin and tokenomics, and we're going to working on a web app. But unfortunately, with the holidays going on and everything going crazy right now, we're probably going to be starting with our web app in January. And if we're lucky and that goes well, then we'll start coding in February. And then we'll be auditing in March, April. And then we'll be doing testnet May, June, and sacrifice June, that area. And then launch around my birthday in July. And then, yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot that goes into creating a currency, unless you're a coder yourself and you can do a lot of those things yourself. But really, like I said, I'm the visionary, Hexray Vision, with my Visioneers here in stream. And I'm focused on helping 1 million families with any means necessary, anything I can do to help you out there, explain things, walk you through setting up a MetaMask wallet, walk you through understanding how to send and receive funds. And like I said, most of the time I spend with people is helping them with the exchange and their bank. The exchange and the bank are the crappy fiat on-ramp where you got to call the bank and tell them, yeah, you're really trying to connect this card to this website. Then you have to call the website. And then when you finally get a little bit of Ethereum and USDC bought at Coinbase, you froze. So it's just like, it's a really long process going on here, helping people. But that's the update on my coin. That's where my time frame is there. I'm very excited to share more information if I can with you. I'll be dropping some hints and things. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to get some traffic ran to my website so that people can participate in some scavenger hunts and giveaways and fun, create some buzz, and also build the Hexagon community. So I've got these amazing Hexagons that stream out here, put out tons of information, tons of alpha, and I mean it's simply amazing the community we have. So any attention and followers that we can gain during this bear market when everything's, no one's interested in crypto right now, except for the people in crypto building. Everyone else, it's almost like the casino has been shut down, or it's like, 3 a.m. at the casino and everyone's kind of gone home and the bull run's over. So, it just doesn't get the hype. It doesn't get the adrenaline. and dopamine going that everyone has when they gamble. And then you get that bull run, and then every one of your friends and coworkers and neighbors is going to call you up and say, "Hey, Alan, hey, Alan, how do I get this in? I heard that Bitcoin's going up. I need to buy some Dogecoin. I need to buy all this degenerate stuff." That's when they're going to call you, when the price starts pumping and going crazy. Uncle Will, I've been staking 14.5 ICOSA for 30 days per wallet all morning. Been getting amazing returns on my already made ICOSA stakes, like 80% daily. Not financial advice. Do your research. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, is that the fact that you can watch a YouTube channel, especially if you're not in a private group or a paid subscription or anything like that, if you're just watching crazy people on the internet talk about what works, what doesn't work, or what they're excited about, if you take that as financial advice, that's probably not the best place to get your financial advice. It's a great start. It's a great beginning point to start learning some of this stuff and understanding some of these words and slang and lingo. And it's also a good place to hear about people that got wrecked, leaving their money on exchanges or going in on a coin that got rug pulled. So it's a great place for warnings, but it's not always a great place for information. Now, for information, you really got to do a lot of work on your own. Watch YouTube, go back, work on your own, go watch some YouTube, go back. There's so much information out there. It's information overload right now. So yeah, this is if you guys make money, that's awesome. You get to keep it. You don't owe me anything. If anything I say helps point you in the right direction and you do well, you keep all that money. All right. And if you lose money, that breaks my heart. It sucks, but listen to me. That's your loss. It's not my loss. I don't owe you money if you lose money. You don't owe me money if you make money. Dude, I stubbed my crypto. What's up with the Peter Griffin profile pic? That kills me. That's beautiful. Awesome. The wrench army's in full effect. What's going to be the sacrifice ratio, Francis Powell? I've been considering a tiered sacrifice. My idea is that, the people that sacrifice $1 to $100 get a certain ratio. Maybe you get, 1 to 1 point, and then the higher up. So I'm going to be rewarding people with points. Then again, points don't really mean anything, right? Points are just magical little jelly bean, holders. They may or may not be worth a token or something in the future. But yeah, I want to do a tiered one because I really think that if you are willing to sacrifice, and I'm actually working on the political statement that this is going to be, it's probably going to be that, gambling destroys lives might be the sacrifice statement that you'd be making, the political statement you'd be making for sacrificing. But either way, yeah, I think it's going to be a tiered one where the more you sacrifice, the more points you may get. So that's kind of what I think it's going to be like. So what's going to be the sacrifice? Thank you, Frank. When free coins, sir. Well, that'll be the airdrop at the end. The end of it is obviously the airdrop. Right now, you can get an airdrop or claim your free airdrop with Texan token for the last day. This is your last chance. Do you have a name for the coin? I do, but I don't think I can announce it quite yet. Eat your breakfast. It's getting cold. It seriously is getting cold, but I don't know. Let's try this. I'm going to take a bite. Okay, there we go. There's some dead air for you guys. I know dead air is like dead air is the death of podcasts and YouTube. People are going to stop and pull out their phone and get upset for that dead air. What up, fam? Facing reality. I've been staking my enemies all morning. They're getting no returns. Okay. I'm not quite sure I understand that. My Metamask has crashed at least 6 times this morning. Anybody else having issues? I haven't been on my Metamask this morning, but that's good to know. Also, something that I need to bring up is I imported my seed words from one device to another, and I had like 17 or 20 accounts that were attached to this set of seed words, and it only transferred about 10 wallets. And I was really freaking out because I'm like, wait, where are my other wallets? And so I thought that I had to go in, export the private keys, and individually export each account. But it turns out that if you have a MetaMask wallet and you import your 12 seed words, all you need to do, if it doesn't bring all of them over, if you click add account, add account, add account, it will actually bring in those other accounts that you already have first that are tied to those seed words. So you don't actually have to mess with the private keys and export them and try to write them down or copy and paste them. You can simply just add an account, and that'll bring all of your accounts. And that is a shout out to Goosink, who's probably not listening right now, but that's a big shout out to my brother Goosink. He's the one that told me how to figure that out because he'd made the same problem. Sacrifice should be 1 ETH and you send 2 back. That's a great. I know that's worked for a lot of people. Is if you've sent your ETH somewhere, the people claiming to send you ETH back, they're usually just full of integrity. And yeah, I haven't heard of anyone getting scammed yet that way. Sarcasm. So you guys know. Alan Fitza says a DMT token. Is the Blippi coin finally coming out? You know what? I'm as excited about the Blippi coin coming out for Hexnode as I am for anything I'm working on. Since Meltav is elsewhere, 0.1 is 3.1 cents. So I'm guessing that's the hex price right now is 3.31. Thank you, you bet. Meltav doesn't get out of bed for less than 4 cents. Melv Tony. Is it Melv Tony or Melv Tony? I don't know. Do an AA lobby so we can relive the AA lobby again. Oh, dude, that'd be such a pain in the butt. You know, the AA lobby, it was almost a year. That was insane. LOL ASMR Hexray style. Hello. You mean with the eating? Yeah, that's great. Full of integrity. LOL. African priest for the win. Yes, African priest for the win. Let me give you guys. This is kind of a wink and a nod towards my project. I've been going into a lot of space art, space design, trying to get some branding and ideas for what's up. But this really caught my eye the other day, the other night when I was up till super late. And I mean, check this baby out. So this right here, this is I'm trying to get as little of the reflection as possible. You can see my breakfast there and my screen. I'm trying to block my other screen because it's got a bunch of stuff up on it. But check it out. So this is called Goodbye Saturn by an artist that goes by the name of Andy OK. And yeah, I'm trying to get as little of the glare off of it as possible. But yeah, check that baby out. I'm a huge fan of that kind of a art right there. Boom. So yeah, in fact, it's easier to see if I point it this way. But yeah, check that baby out. I love how one hand's underneath, one hand's over it, so you see the glow of the rings. But yeah, I dig the heck out of that one right there. And then this other one, I think it's called Stardust or something like that. And it's let me switch these. This one right here, it just basically gives kind of the illusion of this water almost evaporating into the stars. This is a really trippy kind of scenescape right here. So yeah, check that baby out. It's quite big. I like the big ones. So boom. That's the art that's going to be hanging up in my studio here, in my mom's basement, of course with my mom's permission, guys. Don't tell her yet. I have to ask her when she's in a good mood. But yeah, I'll be putting those up here in the studio. That's just some cool art that came up. I got another one that's not that I got for free, but it's not framed yet. So Today lobby. That sounds not great. Daniel Polk, hello. What's up, Daniel Polk? Good to see you, man. Uncle Will, full of integrity. African Priestess. Finally caught you live. Yeah, what's up, Mackerel? It's good to see you. I recognize you quite a bit from the tweeters. Pull up, make sure that we don't have. Yeah, everyone in here's got a wrench. That's great. And for some reason, we haven't hit the algorithm that sends out the sex dating website bots. So that's good. Torrance says, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, share this. Everything we can do to reach as many people as possible that like giant foreheads and dad jokes, and hopefully like freedom, because this channel and most things I do throughout the day, they're all about freedom. So yeah, freedom. If you're into freedom, or you know someone who's into freedom, send them a link to one of these goofy streams and see if we can get more people saved and more people on their team, because this really is a team sport. You know, community building is a team sport, and if you have a team of people to bounce ideas off of, you're going to do a lot better, I believe, in trading and investing in crypto, other than just being a group following whoever's shooting out the next hot alts. I'll give you guys a little bit of ASMR since no one is here to carry the stream. Do a little bit. This is probably going to get stuck in my throat because it's dry toast. Plenty of butter. Here we go. You ready? Mmm. Mmm. Followed by dead air. Oh, Hexy hot girls in your area, kissy face, and another coin I hear. You know what? It'll be interesting. I can't wait to share some of these ideas I have with you guys, because ever since I found Bitcoin and they tried to close the loop, they tried to create digital scarcity by limiting the number of Bitcoin to 21 million. That idea has really intrigued me. And I thought, okay, well, how can you make something digital and scarce? And how can you create a community and convince other people through social consensus that this thing has value, right? So that was fascinating to me. And when Richard Hart came out with Hex and he said, hey, here's a coin that can pay you interest while holding it, that was all he needed to tell me. Because had Bitcoin paid me interest instead of the miners, I would have been way closer to my goal of freedom way sooner. So as soon as he talked about, hey, let's make a bank CD on the blockchain, I was sold. And then as he started bouncing ideas off the community and building, okay, well, what's its interest rate going to be? What are the penalties going to be? How's this going to work? How's that going to work? We came up with this amazing, brilliant, the Nobel Prize winning idea of the T-share, right? So the T-share is a much better way of closing the loop and creating scarcity than the 21 million limit that Bitcoin put on it, right? And we've had a bunch of derivatives of the T-share in Hex, right? We've had the ICOSA and Hedron derivatives that are based on T-shares. We had the Maximus DAO, which is all about T-shares and all their perps, and even Poly, in a way, depending on how it functions, is literally you can take everything you've got and you can trace it back to the T-shares, right? So that T-share is a beautiful way of closing the loop. But then at the same time, and I tread lightly when I talk about this, because I don't understand everything and I haven't done a lot of research and investigation into exactly what's going on. But you have the wells rolling right now, the short-term rolls, right? whales will have a 60 million or 100 million hex, and they'll stake them for 10 days, 6 days, 100 days, 30 days, 60 days, really short periods. And then, they're getting their interest that much sooner. And yes, they are ratcheting up the T-share rate. So the T-share is not really broken with these people doing short-term stakes. And I don't know, I haven't tracked them all down to see who's cashing out, who's restaking, who's sitting on it, what's going on. So it's possible that these are some good actors that are just piling up hex. There's nothing wrong with that. But then, of course, you could have these people that are bloating the system and taking advantage of their size. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that it's not helping the price as far as I can tell right now. And of course, we all want number to go up. So I'm thinking that there's got to be a way to close that. You're basically taking all the areas in an ecosystem where you can dump coins on the liquid market, and you're trying to incentivize as little dumping as possible and holding as long as possible. And so originally I had tried to think of a coin that could encapsulate the whole ecosystem and prevent dumping from the whole ecosystem and really, reward people without dumping. But when I ran a lot of these ideas past people that understand code and understand game theory better than me and tokenomics better than me, they would say, well, if you pull off what you want to pull off, there's no chance of anyone ever making any money. So why would you buy something you could never cash out? And it's like, that's a good point. Why would you? You wouldn't. And the other thing, if you dump out too much or you have people delay gratification for too long, they just don't participate, right? So you want max participation, you want max people holding, you want to incentivize everyone to hold more than dump. And I finally figured out how I could do this with a separate coin, but not necessarily. I couldn't wrap my idea around the whole ecosystem because I felt like I was trying to put Voltron together. You guys remember Voltron, that cartoon from the 80s where they were all their own little fighting robots, and then when they came together, they had a big old sword and they would defeat, the bad guy. I was trying to figure out a way to put this because the body is together, but there's not like a cap on top. And maybe the cap, maybe the head, maybe the helmet ends up being the pulse chain layer 1. Maybe that is what encapsulates and really finishes this super awesome fighting robot. Maybe not. I don't know. But I was trying to do this whole thing and it just wasn't working. So I took a lot of the ideas I had. The other problem that I realized is that people are very emotional and people love gambling. 99% of, I say 99, but basically the vast majority of people involved in stocks and crypto are degenerate gamblers. There's speculation and there's investment and there's risk versus reward, but these people get wrecked on such a regular basis. They buy tops and sell bottoms all the time. They believe people's promises and their promise coins when they definitely shouldn't, and they get taken advantage of. And so there's this huge gambling, risky component to crypto that Richard Hart did a really good job of advertising to, marketing to in the beginning. And even now, it's a lot of the reason people will look at the website and some of the marketing for Hex, and that's their justification that it's a scam. They're like, well, look at this, look at the way it presents itself. It's clearly a scam. When, people like you and I that have done our research and own T-shares and participated know differently. We know that it's a really amazing, amazing product. It's offering more people financial freedom than any other product that I've seen in my life. And that's my humble opinion. If you compare crypto to a lot of investments out there, the stock market, real estate, starting a business, the success rate and risk versus reward are just insane. Hey, do you want to join me?
Gotta go home, Mom. What you want to learn?
What's that?
Gotta go home, Mom. What you want to learn?
I think Mom's at the park. We'll go there to help her.
I said I would.
All right.
I sold my soul.
Go with God, Gamma Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna see if Gamma Ray wanted to join me on screen. So, anyways, this is my long ramble sermon, whatever. Oh, dude, we got Blippy Yeezus in the greenhouse. Blippy Yeezus. First of all, I want to I want to compliment you on your profile pic. That is genius. Love it very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going really well. It's good to have someone on here besides myself. If you get on like a rant, I'm going to take a bite of toast and eggs if that's cool. But just so you know, this is wonderful. It gives me a chance to finish my breakfast. So I was in the middle of my sermon talking about what makes a crypto work, what makes a crypto not dump its coins, what attracts people to crypto, and that's kind of where I was going with the thought and the ideas that I put into my coin. That as soon as I have some information to release, I'll definitely be releasing it. And all I can do is try my best to provide something of value and provide something that people find is cool. I mean, I definitely want this coin to exist for sure. That's kind of why I'm creating it. I don't see anything that they're quite like it. But I also have been inspired by so many things with my 7 or 8 years in crypto personally. How about you? Are you a veteran? Are you OG? Are you a newcomer to the Hex machine?
With Hex, I'm not quite sure about that. A guy I know, he likes Hex, so I've kind of migrated toward this Blippy coin that hasn't quite been released yet. So I'm just kind of
the Blippy coin. I'm waiting for some more info on the Blippy coin too. That goes to community, right? Richard Hart, in my opinion, built the best community in crypto, and that's where a lot of value comes from, the community helping each other, teaching each other, kind of like hanging out and encouraging each other to get through the bear markets and the tough times. Back in the day, Doge had a really fun community. They had decentralized dance parties where they'd all show up with Bluetooth speakers and dance through the streets with crazy outfits. They were the first person to sponsor a NASCAR back in the day. And a lot of the reason that Dogecoin had its success was because of it wasn't because of the code. It wasn't because of the tokenomics. It was because they had a really cool, fun community that was promoting it and having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's that called when you break out and dance? It's like
the flash mobs.
Flash mobs, yeah. Have you ever seen people getting arrested for doing that in places they're not supposed to?
I saw some anarchists back in the day. They used to have a dance fest at the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C., and they would arrest them for dancing.
I think it's like specifically says like in the building, like no flash mob dancing or something. Just like I think they have like the specific rule, like this is the place you don't do that. Like how ridiculous.
It's all about conditioning and brainwashing and the one law. There's only one law on the books. I mean, technically there's hundreds of thousands, millions of laws on the books, but the only one law is I actually obey. Just do whatever I tell you to, because I'm in charge. We got Hexy Quinn in here. Hot girls in your area. That's great. Thank you so much. So she's being the sex website bot for us because we're not getting trolled yet. Tin Top in the house. What's up, Hexicans? So what was your first coin or the first entry into crypto for you?
I don't even know what crypto is. I don't even know what money is. I've been contemplating what is money. I've been hearing that it doesn't even exist anymore, that we're using it's based on nothing. Like we're just having medium exchanges. And I'm even trying to understand that is that like I think of it as like inspiration and energy boosts. Like that's the real, medium of exchange. Like if you can inspire somebody, then you're actually giving them, I would call that money. Like I would say inspiration is money. So I mean, what can you do with money in that sense? Like that's all you really need. Like what gets you through the day every day? Are you getting through the day with more money, or are you getting through the day with more energy and inspiration? I mean, there's people that can do amazing things if they're inspired to do it compared to somebody just with enough money or whatnot. But yeah, I don't even know what money is. So,
well, I
let
think
alone
that
crypto.
one way to think about money that's helped me understand it is it's an agreement between two people for something that represents energy or time or what's the other word? What do they call crypto recently? They were trying to call it a commodity, right? So do you play video games?
I've played Call of Duty and Rocket League.
There you go. So in Rocket League and Call of Duty, I'm sure that they have something that's valuable in the game, right? Whether it's energy, a weapon, something to that effect. Right?
Like life,
Like
like
your life,
health,
like your health bar, exactly.
health bar and life.
So everybody that goes in and plays this game together, they all agree that that health bar is valuable because the person with the health bar at the end of the fight wins, right?
The extension of life, the life-giving energy glowing orb. Everyone has chosen to, if you hit this light source that turns green and expands, you get more life in this video game that everyone is playing. Everyone's conditioned themselves to believe we are playing the same game.
Yeah, I like that. So if you and I agree to play a game, then you and I are both agreeing what's valuable in that game and what's not valuable in that game,
Yeah.
right? So that whatever we agree is valuable becomes money. So back in the day, let's say you and I are on an island, just no one else, just you and me, and we're gathering coconuts, right? And you're better at gathering coconuts, and I'm better at fishing. Okay, so for a while, you and I can just trade fish for coconuts, no big deal, and that's our money because we're both valuing one thing more than the other. But as soon as a third person shows up and they start making fire, well, I can't. I may not want fire, and I may want coconuts, or vice versa. That when there's more than one
What?
thing being
How
offered,
how do how
you
do
got to
people
compete.
agree what has value?
Exactly. That's where I'm getting. So if I provide, because you're going back to the energy, like I'm inspired to go fish. So in a way,
Yeah.
that's kind of like my personal money. That guy's inspired to climb up and knock down the coconuts. That's his driving force and his energy to go get those coconuts. And then someone's just really good at getting that fire started, and that's what they're good at, right? So there's
Yeah.
kind of our own little personal monies. But if we want to start exchanging value for value, maybe I don't. Maybe I have enough coconuts, so I don't want coconuts today. But I want to store up and keep track of the amount of fish that I'm giving you and the fire maker, right? So the three of us get together and we find some shell or rock on the island that's not that's um, more scarce than the others. So there's like this. Maybe we find a white sand dollar, and a whole white sand dollar. There's not a lot of them. So we agree that hey, one white sand dollar that's not chipped or broken is going to represent this number of fish, this number of coconuts, or this many times the person will come over and tend to your fire,
Yeah,
right?
if you can convince people that
Hmm.
it has value. But
Exactly. So,
that's the concept, is that what you're doing may or may not be harder or easier than anything else, but what you're actually creating has less value to you because it's easy for you to do it, but it has more value to someone else that can't do it. And then people's concepts between what has more value than another thing is a whole weird game amongst itself.
sure. But if the three of us agree that, you know, this seashell is worth X, Y, and Z, we have just invented money out of thin air. It didn't exist before, and now it exists. So in a sense,
So it's
it was
money.
never real.
Well, I mean, money is energy, and also, I mean, in an agreement between at least two or more people,
Yeah,
that
it's just an
something
agreement.
has value.
It's
I mean,
an easier way to put this is it's a story.
a story.
Money is a story.
That makes sense.
It doesn't exist in reality until you and I agree that it exists. And so I think his name is Yuval Harari. Someone in chat might know it, but he's the one that wrote the book Sapiens. And his argument is that the main difference between human beings and most other animals on the planet is that human beings have the ability to tell each other stories and believe stories on a mass scale, right? And so he says this is where we get money, government, religion, and a lot of things that we think are real because they affect our everyday lives. But in reality, all these things are stories that we choose to believe and that we tell each other, or that someone tells to us and that we choose to believe. So money is really just a story that you choose to believe. So if you believe that, dollar bills from the bank, federal notes that we use, if you believe those have value, then they have, and more people believe they have value, then that's money. If you believe that Hex or Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency has value, and a bunch of other people believe it has value, then it becomes money because it's a story.
So anything can be considered money.
Anything.
So yeah.
Well, so money isn't real. Money is a story, and stories aren't real. but they can have a really strong effect on our lives, even though it's just a story. Think about Santa Claus, right? Did you believe in Santa Claus when you were younger?
I still believe in Santa Claus, bro.
Okay. So if you're believing in Santa Claus, someone tells you Santa Claus is coming, you better do what's right. You better be a good kid, or you're going to get this. That belief is going to affect your life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very powerful stories, but they're still stories, and that's how I would explain, money to people.
Well, I mean, what about intrinsic value, like things that are like obvious without a story?
So you're talking about maybe food, shelter, heat, clothing, really useful, tangible items. Some people consider gold and silver to be tangible money and items that are very useful, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with tangible or something that's got intrinsic value is that intrinsic is really just what you and I think it is, right? If I'm not hungry, then food doesn't actually have an intrinsic value to me. It has an intrinsic value, to human beings in general, but money is individual. If I live in a nice place and I don't really need shelter from the weather, then a house is a desire, not a necessity. So a lot of intrinsic values have to do with necessities of our bodies and what we people say, well, you need this to live. If you don't want to live, then it's actually not a necessity, right? I mean, that sounds dark, but honestly, everything in life is based on our desire more than choice, more than an actual concrete, this is what you need. Does that make sense? And this is kind of some into the weeds, deep stuff, but basically a lot of things that we've come to believe are real and concrete and can't change are just things that a lot of people have believed in very strongly.
Yeah, I was just hearing about how change is like the only thing that is real, and a lot of things about rhythm and coming up and down, like something's valuable at one time, almost like market cycles and whatnot, like the up and down motion of things, of value, concepts of energy. Like if you like meditate and you watch your thoughts, you can like see this energy like moving around and forming into words. and like,
Yeah, I definitely believe and I've experienced a lot of different energies and feelings and rhythms, vibrations, frequencies. Those are definitely something that I would definitely agree are real and affect us. I do want to stop though really quick. We'll run through some chat here so people don't feel like they're getting neglected. Can you see the chat where you're from?
not unless only if you pull it up, because if I open other tabs, I'll be
That's
a
okay. That's
swirly
okay.
Q.
Let me get some shout outs here. We got J Man. What's up, Hexicans? Danny Boy. I like you and the sound of it so far. Oh, I appreciate that. Torin says peace. J-Man, a lot of love for people back and forth here saying, hey, Tip Top, hey, Torin, hey, Hexy Quinn, hey, Alan, hey, Daniel Poke. If you have a hex stake or sacrifice for Pulse or Pulse X, please check if you're eligible for the Texan token airdrop. That's good news too. Did you happen to have any stake text this last July? Blippy Jesus?
Yeah, I don't know anyone that has actually collected on that token free airdrop. I haven't heard anyone actually getting that token.
Yeah, actually, right now the airdrop hasn't happened, but the claim phase is ending tomorrow. So if you have if you had a hex stake on July 4th, or if you sacrificed from your wallet to Pulse or Pulse X, then the website texan.cc, if you go there and you connect your MetaMask wallet to that website, it'll recognize that you are in that group of people, and you sign a signature claiming, hey, I do want to get this airdrop, and I do have control of this wallet. And if you do that, when the coin comes out, you'll be getting 1 million of the Texan tokens. So that's what they're talking about there.
How much do you think that'll be when it comes out?
Well, I'm guessing that'll be worth about $10.
Ballin'.
Yeah, that's enough to go to Little Caesars. We
That's
always have to
enough
mention
for
Little
a
Caesars.
hot and ready, just spicy and delicious, melty cheese guacamole. If you're a real Mexican.
We got functional crypto. I bet you that's right. Staking is the way to go, especially if you're DCAing or staking in the bear. Agree with that. I bet you're right. Hey yo, Pulse Hex going to the moon. By J-Man. Daniel says, I always tweet to Simon Dixon. Let's see when he joins Hex. That's a good idea. Mad Gain's son. My Hedron stakes have been paying out lots of ICOSA, killing it. J Money says, I want to turn crypto into rental properties. That's awesome. There's a lot of people that want to take the token or NFTs and connect them to real world assets like rentals and real estate. The problem that everyone's been running into right now is the Oracle problem, J-Man. So we're the next genius in crypto is going to be the person that can get information from the physical world and transfer it to the blockchain without it going to shit. Because every time a human being touches every time something physical touches the blockchain, it turns to shit, because human beings make mistakes, and human beings are emotional, and human beings are greedy, especially when it comes to money, right? So we're looking for some genius to come out of the woodwork and fix that Oracle problem, which is taking information from one place and making sure it's reported correctly, right?
You can't let those dirty humans get their filthy hands on that dirty.
Yeah, that's why. Well, that's why we all came. A lot of people were drawn,
like Oracle, like the Matrix, like the.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what it means. An oracle is someone who gives information, right? So in the Matrix, you had the oracle that was giving information about the future.
So there has to be a trustless ball of orb that is like a node between the human interface and the blockchain interface.
Yeah, you have to have something that's
third party
yet that you can actually trust, and no one's figured out how to actually pull that off yet, as far as I know. Daniel Polk says, we are the most knowledgeable people about money. What a community. Cabana, crypto, U-Haul, Ferrari. I didn't think it would fit, bro. I'll tell you what. We'll see. The RV. I think you're referring to my RV. I'm not sure. My tomorrow, instead of doing a live stream, I'm going to take some of this stuff for me and probably do a live stream on Sunday from out of town. But tomorrow, I'm going to be jumping on Cabana Crypto's 100th episode. So watch out for Cabana Crypto's 100th episode. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of cool people there. Brisology says the big jade stones under the sea. Do you know the story of the jade stones? And then Cabana says, my Ferrari is feeling neglected. You put it in a U-Haul. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm following the U-Haul and the Ferrari thing, but maybe I got to go back and count. Daniel says 1 million Texan tokens. Nothing wrong with free money. No, there's not. Lots of us, lots of our airdrops coming for Pulse and PulseX sacrificers. Yeah, I think in the future, if you have sacrifice for Pulse or PulseX, did you get a chance to sacrifice Blippy Jesus?
A guy I know was able to sacrifice some valuable tokens for the Pulse chain.
Okay.
This imaginary Pulse chain thing that's not even released yet. So there's an oracle apparently that has this make-believe concept of what I found, or a guy I know found valuable. How that's just out there in this, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is it? I don't know. It's somewhere else. It's an idea of an oracle to me. Is it's out of my hands, and I mean, technically, it's still on the blockchain, but it's going to be, transmuted into something else by something like who's got it? What do they do? How they're turning this value into a different value with no value.
Mm-hmm. Well, it all comes down to no expectations in the work of others, right? Because if I give someone money and I expect them to do something for that money, then it could possibly become a security, and then we got to deal with all the government BS, right? Not that the government won't stick its nose in there anyways, but this at least gives us some defense against it, right? So there's a lot of rules and a lot of careful and strategic ways of going about launching this. And everyone wants to know when Pulse Chain, when Pulse X, because we were really hoping for it over a year ago, and now we're just kind of floating in the dark, waiting to see what happens with Pulse Chain. But we have big hopes and dreams that it will hopefully come and fix a lot of the layer one problems that we have with the layer one networks right now, right?
Yeah, concept of like expectations, like that's mind blowing. That like how can you define expectations? I mean, expectations that they're going to work for you and create value, or
I think a lot of it has to do with expressed expectations or expressed promises. So if you have if you have a recording of someone saying to you, for instance, let's say we know each other, we're neighbors, right? And you come over to my house and you say, hey, I'll give you $10 to wash my car. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Now that's an expectation. I've expressed that I'm going to work on your car, and you have, expressed that you're going to give me money for the car.
So
right?
Did you say you were going to give them money?
No, we sacrifice money for a political statement.
No, the neighbor with the car.
Yeah.
So it's your car.
Mm-hmm.
You told him you're going to give him money to wash your car.
Yeah. Now, like I said, if you have let's say you have a contract where you write that up, he pulls out a piece of paper, then you're like, hey, I have reasonable expectations for him to do this because he wrote this paper, or we recorded it on our phone, or whatever. There's a record of that promise of work for the money that I gave him.
Yeah, if you wanted to express that you're like, I don't know, Yeah, I mean, if you're trying
right?
to make $10 or whatever, like,
Well, when it comes to government and legal and all that stuff, it's all about proof, right? So you have to have evidence and proof that something went down, that someone said something, that someone agreed to something, that someone paid something to someone, right? And
yeah,
you also have to prove why they paid that money to that person. So in crypto, because we're like this big juicy ball of money that the government wants to figure out how they can get as much taxation and control of much of it as they can, we've got to be very careful and very selective about the way we talk about things, about what we promise people, about the expectations that we tell people they should have, because
yeah. That's
we
why I
always say
always,
no expectation from the work of others, not financial advice, do your own research, that kind of thing. It's kind of like it's kind of lost its meaning because we've said it so much, but there's a reason that people say it, right?
yeah, that's why I'm like trying. Same thing with like the concept of money. Like, it's mind blowing to even like come up with the idea. It's basically contract between two people, and then somehow other people get to be a part of that contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild stuff to think about.
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask you a question. How much of your day do you think about money or work for money on an average day?
Work for money?
Mhm.
Yeah, it matters what your definition of money is. Like, I'm
We'll say U.S. dollar bills right now. Like, how much of your life is determined by U.S. dollar bills right now?
um, probably I'm not sure. Maybe like a thousand every 2 weeks, maybe at the something like that.
Mhm. And how much of your time or effort do you put into to going and getting the U.S. dollars?
Too much time.
Yeah, I think that's the answer for most of us is way too much time. Have you gone back and watched any of the Richard Hart videos?
I've watched most of his videos, if not a lot of them.
Okay. And Cabana Crypto says his 100th episode is not tomorrow. It's in 20 minutes, bro. LOL. So I'll be cutting this before he goes live. But that's good to know. For some reason, I was sure it was Saturday instead of Friday, but it's good. TGIF, man. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, if you go back to the Richard Hart videos, there's one, I think if you just Google, so you want to be rich. Let me actually open this up and see if I can find a link for it. Richard Hart, so you want to be rich. There's a really good clip of this where he kind of explains um, how, because Richard Hart, he's a smart dude, and he actually retired before he got into crypto. So he retired like around 23, 25, mostly doing internet companies and marketing and a couple of his own businesses. And he explains that the reason that a lot of people have trouble making more money with less time is because as an employee or as someone who does a special skill, you're even like a doctor or a lawyer, you're trading a certain number of your hours for a certain number of dollars, right?
That's why software has made people so much money, because it's easy to copy and sell.
Exactly. That's exactly what he talks about in this video. He says you have to do things that scale. So you have to find a way to make money when you're not there. Some people, an easy example of this is real estate. Someone buys an apartment building and rents it out, and people are paying rent on that apartment for living there, whether that person is there or not, right? And then you mentioned software. Software, you can write a really good software program that people want to use, and then you can just copy it, and you don't have to be there for people to buy copies of it online and install it on their computer, right?
You're able to transcend time somehow.
Yeah, well, basically, you're scaling or you're multiplying yourself.
Yeah, scaling, multiplying, transcending time. This is this is wild stuff, eh?
Yeah, I'm gonna post this in the comments right here. So this is it, and I'm gonna see. I may or may not be able to play this and share the audio, but let's see here. Let me see if I can. Tell me if you guys can see and hear this right here. I'm gonna unmute it.
Who's that goofy guy with the top hat?
Yeah, right
In this
here.
world, you don't see the richest people doing things with their time and getting paid hourly. There's not enough hours in the day. If you're the highest paid lawyer, the highest paid doctor, no matter how much you make, there's still just not
Can you
enough
guys hear
hours
that?
in the day. There's only one of each.
I can hear it.
Okay.
We may have different educations, different
But I
skills,
was wondering who that guy in the top
different
hat is.
opportunities, but
That's
the one
Richard
thing
Hart.
we all have the same as our time. So in this world, if you want to become truly wealthy financially,
I thought that was
you
Willy
need
Wonka.
to do things which aren't based on your hours. That means that you need to start a business or own something, because when you're sleeping, the things that you own will still be working, right? So let's say you own a piece of real estate and you rent it out. When you go to sleep, your real estate's still working for you. Let's say you start a business and you have some employees doing the work. Once you can afford your first employee, you can waste your time however you like, assuming that the employee you hired is the right one and can do the job as well as you used to, right? So something that I advise people to do is your first goal should be to buy your own freedom. You should be working so that you don't have to actually show up to work anymore. You can go learn the next thing to take it to the next level, because most businesses aren't going to make you a billionaire. Most businesses won't make you a millionaire. In this world, for you to be a billionaire or a millionaire, you've got to fight the effects of competition. You've got to fight the effects of taxation. There's a whole ton of things in this world trying to make it so that you can't get that rich. So what are some things that you can use to your advantage? Well, I love to use things that can scale. And scale is just a fancy word for, if it works one time, you could do it 10 times as well, right? So let's say you're in a service industry and you've got to go door to door and fix air conditioners. That's really hard to do, because if you need to fix twice the number of air conditioners, you need twice the trucks, twice the tools, and twice the insurance, and twice the advertising, perhaps. And it takes twice as much time, and the trucks break down, and people don't show up on time, and half the employees have drug problems for whatever reason. Maybe it's a Florida thing. And it just doesn't scale well. Now, there's other businesses that scale totally well. Let's say you have a software business or software as a service.
Boom.
You get one client, great. You get two clients, great. How many clients can you put in a single server? Hundreds, thousands. You don't have to do anything different. It's just zero. The fancy word for it is zero marginal cost to provide the service to the next person, right? So there's some businesses like moving boxes, where if I sell boxes of things on the internet and make 40% markup, or let's say it's a competitive industry and I make 15 or 20% markup, well, could I sell 10 times as many boxes? Yeah, surely I could, right? Could I sell them into other countries? Could I relabel them? Could I give them certain different features? Could I differentiate my product in a different way? Yeah, sure, I could. But what if I just have a local retail storefront? Once you've like capped out on the number of people you can reach locally, you can't bring people from out of state. They just don't want to make the drive, right? You can't stock as many things on your shelves as for display. You run out of display room, right? Some people, you want to, sell their stuff, and they see you're selling a certain competitive product, they won't let you carry their line because they don't want to, compete in that area, or they've already got so many other retailers in the area that they don't need you. So I love the idea of things which scale and multiply, but you might not be able to start there. You might have to buy your freedom first. So what I tell people is, if you're smart enough to know what to buy for yourself, then you're smart enough to help other people buy the same stuff, right? So I happen to like this top hat. Some top hats, when you look on the side, they just go straight. I don't like a top hat that goes straight. I like this curve deal. Some top hats just come up straight on the top. I think it looks boring. I like a top hat that flares at the top a little bit. So I probably know more about top hats than the average gentleman. And now that I know what the hell I'm talking about, I know which one holds their shape. I know what type of shape is good. I know which ones aren't going to sweat on your head too much. I'm now qualified to sell them better than most other people, because I had to learn these things to get a good product for myself anyway. So now that I've learned these things for myself, it's a somewhat tragedy. Just let that information die inside me. Why don't I set up a store, set up a little website, costs almost nothing, and say, look, I know what the best top hats you can buy on the internet are. Here they are. I'll drop ship them to you, or I'll ship them to you myself, or you can come see them in my store and take whatever you pay for them. Most things are made in China. You buy them, you stock them. People call, they want it. You bring them to your house, you sell it to them. You don't have to open up a storefront. You can sell it out of your house. You don't have to make tons of money. I prefer products that are $200, $300 so that you can make, $100, $120 when someone comes to your house, right? If you do really low ticket items, you got to sell to so many more people. You got to sell to 3 or 4 times the people, or maybe 2 times the people if you raise your margins up. So my point is, do something small that you can make a little money on. Anything that you're intelligent about, you can make money on. We live in a world now, like some German guy wanted to kill and eat some other German guy. So he put out an advertisement and said, hey, I'm looking for someone that will let me kill and eat them. And someone responded, and he let him kill him, and they ate him together before he died. So that teaches you that whatever crazy, silly thing that you can think of, you can find a counterparty on the internet. Whatever silly thing that you want to sell, if you get that ad on the internet, you can get someone to call, and this likely you'll be able to do some commerce. Okay. So
anyways, that goes on for a little bit longer. This is Richard Hart. This is, or as Latin American crypto says, that's Count Chocula, not Richard Hart.
Yeah, he's affluent with where to find people to be willing to sell themselves to be eaten.
He's got quite an interesting perspective, and he's taught a lot of people a lot about money and crypto and other things. So check him out if you've got some downtime or some time you want to dig into some different ideas that might change some of the things around you to make you improve your life.
Yeah,
we got David Lee in the house.
Video.
Yeah,
I've watched that video before, but I mean,
it's a good one. It's worth watching again. Marcavelli's in the house. Torrent, David Lee, fist bump. All right, so I'm actually gonna try to unfreeze my camera for the end here. Let me do the stop share here. Boom, and let me restart my camera because it freezes whenever I share screens. I don't know why, but it does. So put this back on here. Nope, that's still frozen. See if this will pull up. There we go. Okay, so I'm back. So I want to wrap up though. It was really good having you on Blippy Yeezus. I love the name Blippy Yeezus. I appreciate you coming on here. Dave Seeley says I would clap, but I don't want to give him a hand. I remember seeing that guy in the top hat a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Crazy. It's been like 4 or 5 years. Bristology, we got 65% APY yesterday. Jesus. Finbear's in the house. So I'm gonna do my outro where I do my awkward wave. And I'm gonna see if I can jump on to Cabana's 100th episode. Everyone go over, check out Cabana. He's gonna start with hopefully the European guests because it's a little later over there. Give them a chance to come on. And I want to thank Blippy Yeezus for joining me on the stream and hanging with me, man.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
You bet. All right, now I'm going to play a little bit of music, and I'm going to do an awkward wave. If you had a camera on, you could do the same thing. So maybe next time you can throw up a camera and we can do this awkward wave together. What do you think about that?
It's unlikely.
Right. Here comes the chill music, and we just look into the camera. And we wave like we're in 5th grade, and we're about to ask the girl across the gym to dance. We're very nervous. This is the wave we give them right here.
Is that Gucci Mane?
Hey, thanks everyone for being here. Visioneers out. Thank you, like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna have some really fun scavenger hunts that may involve some internet money for you guys to try and get our clout. We're gonna chase that clout, son. We're gonna get everyone we can to join the party, and we'll definitely see you guys soon. Check out check out Cabana Crypto on his 100th episode. Congratulations. He's a rock star. I'm really hoping they do their dad jokes, but we'll see. And we'll catch you guys on another one. Bye, guys.